Wow, we lost a lot of men in that battle today. I'm worried the South is beginning to encroach upon us.
It's crazy to think how far we've come in this war. Just a few short years ago, this beautiful nation was once united as one. And now we have brothers fighting against brothers and fathers against sons. How did we get here?
Remember the Dred Scott trial? Yeah, that really sparked the Civil War.
This should cover the cost of Dred Scott.
Pleasure doing business with you, Dr. Emerson. I hope this slave brings you a lifetime of usefulness.
Thank you. I bid you farewell, Mr. Below.
Master, why are there blacks walking around free?
It's none of your concern, boy.
And until death or distance do you part.
I do. I do.
I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Dr. Emerson, you are to be sent to Jefferson Barracks military post for your services. I'm going to be sent to Jefferson Barracks military post. What am I going to do with my slaves? I'll rent you out.
Well, gee golly, Doctor, I'll take your slaves.
You can have them until I get back.
What? Isn't that against the Missouri Compromise?
And the Northwest Ordinance and the Wisconsin Enabling Act? What are they doing?
I'll miss you while you're at Fort Snelling, sweetheart.
Bye.
Wait! What am I to do with the slaves while you're away?
Rent them out.
Okay.
Please, ma'am. I just want my freedom for me and my family.
No, you are my property.
Good. Looks like we have enough compiled to start a case for your freedom.
I believe since I have been on free land for 26 years and my daughter was born on free territory, I shall have the right to be free. Cases like Somerset versus Stewart, Winnie versus Whiteside, and Rachel versus Waller all allowed emancipation.
Well, Scott, it does not appear that you have a witness to testify that you are in fact Mrs. Emerson's slave. I hereby dismiss this case on this technicality.
The Court of Missouri finds in favor of Dred Scott in suing for his freedom.
I'd like to appeal for my brother John Sanford, for he still owns these two slaves.
The case must be taken to the Supreme Court of Missouri. Times are not now as they were when the former decisions on the subject were made. Since then, not only individuals, but states have been possessed with a dark and fell spirit in relation to slavery, whose gratification is sought in the pursuit of measures, whose inevitable consequences must be the overthrow and destruction of our government. Under such circumstances, it does not behoove the state of Missouri to show the least countenance to any measure which might gratify this spirit. She is willing to assume her full responsibility for the existence of slavery within her limits, nor does she seek to share or divide it with others.
Sierra, now that we're back in New York, we could bring the case to the federal court and sue Mr. Sanford.
Men, it is important to keep this meeting clandestine. Also, we must remember not to forget the Missouri law and the Missouri Supreme Court that held Scott as a slave. The court is now in session.
We, the jury, find the court in favor of Sanford. Scott will not be given his freedom.
I object, Your Honor.
This case will be taken to the U.S. Supreme Court.
I need you to make the decision for Dred Scott before my election on March 8th. This court case should help settle the country with this whole slavery dispute.
I declare on March 6, 1857, in the opinion of the court that this case is not under obligation to the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution, for Dred Scott is a black slave and not a citizen. Negroes have always been so far inferior that they have no rights with which the white man is bound to respect.
What if the whole West becomes slave territory?
I hear you. I'm just worried about becoming like Kansas. I've heard their civil war is getting pretty bloody.
Oh no, I'm panicking! Dred Scott's not giving his freedom. What?
Dred Scott is not given his freedom. Yes!
This is great! This is exactly how the Constitution should have been interpreted. outrageous.
Have you heard anything more about the Dred Scott trial?
No, not yet. Get the evening journal. We will not stand for the Dred Scott decision. This is so right. The decision doesn't go with the principles of liberty we wanted when we first founded America.
Not to mention the slave states are beating the northern ones.
As a Northern Democrat, how should we approach this? I'm afraid our views are becoming too different from our Southern Democrat brothers. We supported the Kansas-Nebraska Act because of the popular sovereignty, but any case like this prohibits us from having any power over slavery. We concur, Mr. Douglas!
It's as if the North doesn't respect justice anymore.
How can we stay on a side that won't even listen to what the Supreme Court says?
Remember the whole John Brown ordeal?
Oh yeah, that really was a prime factor in sparking the Civil War as well.
Here, before God, in the presence of these witnesses, from this time I consecrate my life to the destruction of slavery. Pro-slaveryites are trying to take over Kansas. We can't let that happen. To Pottawatomie Creek! Yeah! Down, you pro-slaveryite, down!
What did we just do?
Men! Those pro-slaveryites had it coming.
Did you hear about those 5 pro-slaverites that were hacked to death?
Hey, weren't you there?
Oh, I had nothing to do with that. But whoever did obviously had a good cause. To abolition! I, John Brown, am now quite certain that the crimes of this guilty land will never be purged away, but with blood. This is the plan. We'll establish a base in the Blue Ridge Mountains, help the runaway slaves, and attack the slaveholders. But we need your funding to buy weapons and accomplish this.
I guess I'll support your mission.
We finally have enough money to start this war. It is time to embark on our righteous mission to destroy slavery.
No, the time is not now. We need to postpone the attack for at least a year, or else.
Or else what?
Or else I will reveal all your plans and your mission will be doomed.
I will not let you destroy my entire life's work. Fine. We will delay the attack and go into hiding. But mark my words, by next summer, I will stop at nothing and fight until either slavery perishes or I do. Prepare yourselves for battle, my faithful followers.
This year-long delay has given us time to really think.
What?
We're not so sure we really want to go through this attack anymore.
Yeah, many of your followers have kind of lost interest and moved away.
We don't really have faith in you anymore.
Henry, you got me back, right? You were one of my biggest supporters and a fellow radical abolitionist.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the slaves are prepared to help us with the attack, so I don't really have faith in this mission anymore.
What?
I'm sorry!
My man Frederick Douglas, fellow abolitionist, please tell me you support me unlike these traitors.
Your original plan of guerrilla warfare in the mountains had a chance. Now your new plan of attacking the federal arsenal at Harper's Ferry and thus attacking the United States government is a grave mistake. You're walking into a perfect steel trap, and you will never get out alive.
Across the Potomac River, men! To Harper's Ferry! Let's go, let's go, let's go! Don't move! Let's go. Ready?
I'm ready.
John Brown's son. I have come to surrender.
No.
Surrender, Brown!
Never!
You're hereby convicted of murder and treason. I'm taking you to court.
In the first place, I denied everything but what I have all along admitted. The design on my part to free the slaves. That was all I intended. I never did intend murder, or treason, or the destruction of property, or to excite or incite slaves into rebellion, or to make insurrection.
No!
He's insane! Don't do it! John Brown, he doesn't deserve it! He's just
Order! The court declares John Brown guilty of murder and treason, and hereby sentences him to death by hanging.
Now, if it is deemed necessary that I should forfeit my life for the furtherance of the ends of justice and mingle my blood further with the blood of my children and with the blood of millions in this slave country whose rights are disregarded by wicked, cruel, and unjust enactments, I submit. So let it be done. I have fought the good fight, and now, as I trust, have finished my course.
John Brown's body lies a mouldering in the grave. His soul is marching on.